Oh, and we have a perfect. Good morning, everyone. It's Monday morning. I'm sorry we're a little bit late today. It's perfect for an accountability subject, but you have found us. Yay! So welcome to Make Some Money, Honey, and Monday. Monday Momentum. We are here to help you get your week started and help us start our weeks because we know what it's like to work from home, to be a solo entrepreneur, to be trying to balance things like your family, your laundry, and your work. And you can't treat your business like it's just a habit or a hobby. You have to have it in the front of your mind just like a job. So getting up and running on Monday morning is what we're all about. So you can slide into home base on Friday feeling good about your week. I want to welcome you today. I want to say we miss you, Julia. Wish you were here, but Julia was not able to be with us today. And it's too dang bad because, in part, she's the queen of getting some of the links posted. So I'm really sorry for those of you who are going to my website and trying to get in that way. You won't be able to because I couldn't figure out how to post it this morning, and we way ran out of time. It's already 8 minutes after 7, so we're behind. If you go to Facebook, go to Sarah Coolidge on my Facebook, you will find the link there. And that's the best I can do for you right now. I apologize, but if you're trying to get in, go to the Sarah Coolidge Facebook page, and you will find the link on my timeline. So, good morning. Accountability. We're trying to be accountable by being here, even when we're stumbling a little. I want to welcome Brenda. If Brenda would come on and introduce herself, tell us a little bit about what you do and where you are. Are you there,
Good morning. Good morning. This is Brenda Graham from Columbia, Maryland. I am your success mentor, also the queen of network marketing and multi-level marketing, and I'm here to serve. I mentor for free.
Now, Brenda, you don't want us to see you today, or did you know that your camera is turned off?
No, I don't want you to see me today.
Oh, that's too bad. They have to look at me the whole time, and I'm very orange, at least here, for some reason that
It's a great color. It's a great color.
Well, you know, it's been different colors at different times, and it's another mystery this morning. So we wanted to talk about accountability and the role it plays in being successful, running a business from home, running a solopreneur operation, or really running anything, a family, your life, a successful beginning and end all the way through life. And in my mind, it takes some accountability. So why don't you tell us for a minute what your definition is of accountability, Brenda? And you're muted, so you'll have to unmute. There's Linda. If you're talking, Brenda, I can't hear you because you're muted.
Good morning. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning.
There we are. So how about it, Brenda? Will you give us your definition of accountability, or what you're thinking about accountability right now?
My definition is that being and leading the way through my participation and the things that I do. So I have to be a role model of the things that I want to see and foresee in my business. And because I work with MLMs and network marketing organizations, I work totally within the structure that each company puts out, so that holds me accountable, it holds the team accountable. But I think as we have this conversation on accountability, we have to remember that right now that we are really living in a low accountability culture.
Oh, tell us what you mean by that.
By low accountability, it means that people don't deal with equity. They don't deal with rules and accountability. And the most blatant thing and way we see it is with the way our government is working right now. So if you think about the rules that have been set forth by the Constitution, by precedent, and then you have a group of people that are putting their will before the system or the Constitution or whatever you want to call it, it's not being shown respect and no leadership. So that's the easiest way I can put it.
So for you then, accountability is taking, I mean, and I would support you on this, taking personal responsibility and then working within the rules and regulations of whatever system you're a part of instead of deciding that you can go your own way and do whatever you want. Is that kind of what you mean?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And I want to welcome Linda Kay, who found her way in here, which I guess, probably was a challenge today because of various problems that I'm having at 5 o'clock in the morning in California. Linda, introduce yourself, please, and tell us where you're from.
Good morning. Linda Kay here from New Hampshire. And a glimpse of spring once again after yesterday's snow. So I am so looking forward to seeing you out at CEO Space in Las Vegas next week.
Yes.
But, Brenda touched on some things on accountability. I guess they kind of hit home. Guilty. Accountability is something that, when she said rebel, I think she spoke to me.
You a rebel, Linda?
Yeah, sometimes. But I can see the difference when I move straight ahead and I work within the guidelines and I follow the rules and I'm accountable for my actions and bringing things in alignment. But sometimes there just comes a point where you need to just let it all go, relax, realize the repercussions of not being in accountability and pulling yourself back in.
So being accountable when you're not accountable.
Yeah, well. but I think inherently we probably all know that accountability works best. And when you just, I hate to use the term irresponsible, but sometimes that happens.
So for both of you, and something that I think about is, we sort of have a vague definition maybe of accountability, but we've kind of defined personal responsibility, being willing to walk your talk, doing what you'll say you'll do. And if you look at the word itself, can people count on you? That to me is part of it. And can you count on yourself? Do you do what you say you're going to do? Is really what I boil it down to. And I'm wondering if either one of you, or perhaps Brenda would like to start, what do you think that accountability does, or having a high level of accountability does for a business?
I think for even your business, for life challenges, just a way of life, it seems more difficult to follow a set of standards or a set of rules. But once you give in to letting something else control or have some input into what you need to do, really your life becomes less complicated because you have a pathway. You have a road. That's why they put lines in the middle of a road so that you don't cross over and go into the traffic that's oncoming. So really, if you're truly accountable, especially in business, your life becomes much, much easier because you have a designated, clear pathway to do what you need to do to move forward and to be successful.
So is that kind of like what Mark Twain, I believe, is given the credit for saying, which is don't lie because it's just so much easier to remember what you need to say. If you don't tell lies ever, it's just lots easier. It's kind of the same.
That's exactly right.
If you follow the rules, whatever they are, the agreements that you've made, it's just so much easier than trying to keep track of a bunch of other stuff. Follow the rules of the road versus driving all over the place. It's the same thing.
Great analogy, Sarah. I love it.
Linda, do you have anything you'd like to add to what you think that accountability brings to a business?
Well, as I hear Brenda, talking about the virtues of accountability, Yeah, some of it's sinking in here, and knowing that I need to get back on that path there. Um, but I keep popping up in my mind, hearing the word accountability, hearing the word in my mind integrity, and I think we have to draw a line somewhere that our accountability does not take us out of integrity. It's one thing to say, okay, I'm going to do this today, and maybe I don't get to it because it doesn't affect anybody but me. So the accountability to self is probably, to me, what I fudge the most. But accountability to others, I think, is the much more important aspect of life in business and everything that we do.
Linda, you know what? Integrity and accountability are almost one and the same. I think they're hand in hand, and they're so close. They're like two peas in a pod.
Well, I'm gonna pick a bone with you there, Linda, because I do agree that that accountability to self might be the easiest one for us to let go, but I think it's the worst one to let go. I think it has way more impact on us than we realize. When we make a promise to ourselves and then we don't keep it, we are setting ourselves up for failure after failure for the, at least for that day. And one of my favorite examples is the tendency that we have to hit the snooze button. If you make a promise to yourself that you're going to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 5 or whatever, and you don't do it, the very first thing you've done that day, the very first thing, the first decision, the first action you took was to undermine your own promise to yourself. And it sets you up to not believe yourself, to not take your promises as serious. And that, that's how you represent yourself in the world, with that feeling that way. And so to me, it's a really, really important thing that every decision that you make every promise you make yourself, you keep. You don't make the promise if you know you're not going to keep it. If you know, I'm not really going to get up at 6, I'll probably get up at 6:30 or 7 or 8 or whatever it is. Don't set the dang alarm. Some people need 15 minutes or whatever to do their waking up, but that's part of the plan. It's not part of a lie. And when you basically do lie to yourself this way, I think that you have really undermined your own self-esteem, your own confidence, which is going to hit you everywhere you look when it comes to your business. Because to me, the accountability in your business is going to increase your sales. It's going to increase your success. If people know they can count on you, they're much more likely to buy from you, because we buy from people we know and trust. And trust goes with accountability. So be nicer to yourself, Linda.
Yes, I won't be setting that alarm.
Well, and I get it that when we have an accountability partner, that's one of the really great benefits, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about that in a minute. But that's what it does for us. It gives us someone else, because it is, for some reason, easier for us to keep our promises when we've promised someone else. I told you I'd have this done by Friday, so I'm way more likely to stay up really late Thursday night getting it done, whatever it is, than for them, for whoever that person is, than I would be for myself, perhaps. But I think that what we do for ourselves actually has way more power, and we should pay more attention to it. So how about that, Brenda? What do you think about that piece of accountability and how it impacts your sales or your business or the likelihood for people to want to do business with you?
Oh, I think you hit it right on the head, Sarah, because, and I'm going to go back to your analogy with the alarm. Once you say to yourself, I'm going to do or get up at such and such an hour, and you don't do it, that's the first degradation of your day. And
Exactly.
whether you think about it or not, that's a really a huge hit in your self-esteem, even to get your day started. And I know when I do that, it changes my whole attitude about what I'm doing, because I virtually lied to myself and broken the first promise of the day. You don't think about it, but it's ever so subtle.
Well, and the opposite is also true. if you make a promise that you keep, you get that benefit. And it's that building on success. So when you have, whatever it is you take on, if you actually complete it, you feel better, and then you're willing to do the next thing, and it doesn't seem so challenging or so hard to make the 10 phone calls or to get out there and do the presentation or whatever else might be in your day or could be in your day, that you're more willing to move forward on when you feel that confidence because I said I was going to do this, and I did it. And not only did I do it, but I did it better than I did yesterday. And you know what? Let's have some more. Bring it on. Those are the kinds of benefits you get. And so it's so important to not make a promise to yourself that you're not going to keep and not take on more than you can actually do. That power of saying no will help you build your success and your positive momentum. Linda, you have anything to add to that?
Well, it's interesting about the saying no. One thing I learned a while ago was when I look at booking my day, only plan on 80% of it taking up my time, because inevitably there's going to be something that's going to suck me down into something I didn't expect. So to say that you're going to make all these commitments in a day, don't make it impossible for yourself, and don't set yourself up to fail, because if you book 100% of your time thinking you're going to do all these things, life is going to happen.
So what you're saying is one of your tools that you use to keep you in accountability is only book about 80% of the day, whatever the working time is going to be for you. You don't fill it 100% full.
Right.
I like that.
I just know something, the phone is going to ring, someone's going to knock on the door, something's going to come into my world that I hadn't planned on.
A marvelous opportunity is going to perhaps show up. Won't suck you down, but lift you up.
Thank you, Sarah.
Some wonderful, unanticipated, fabulous growth experience is going to show up, and you want to be able to take advantage of it because you know it will.
Absolutely.
So have either one of you ever worked with an accountability partner or a mastermind group, which to me also helps keep you in accountability, or have someone that's really helped you with accountability? How about you, Brenda?
I stay in a mastermind group. I always have an accountability partner, and I keep a mentor, and I keep a coach, because I am so prone to procrastination that I need many support systems to keep me on the right track. Sad to say. So it sounds like it might be expensive because, some of these people you actually pay. But on the other hand, it almost guarantees success because they will keep you on track. They help to keep you on that right side of the line and in the road. So I need that kind of support to so I can move forward.
Do these people have permission to basically kind of kick your rear?
They do. That's what they're for. So my mentor is the person that I look up to. That's the person who's walking the walk, not just talking it, but they are doing what they say. My accountability partner is the person that I contact at least once a day, or they will call me if I haven't called by 5 o'clock. That's our deal. And they remind me that I haven't made the call, and why haven't I made the call? Because it's usually because I didn't do what I said I was going to do. And then I have a team call that is only a half hour, and that's a form of accountability.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then my coach I talk to once a week or once every 2 weeks to see just where I am with, my life goals and what I said I wanted to do.
So for someone that might be listening or watching, do you think, is it scary? Is there a shame piece to this, or is it more helpful, and what would you say to encourage somebody to be willing to get an accountability partner that actually works well for them?
I think when you talk about accountability, you have to be transparent. And so frequently we're not in life and we're not in business. But if you're going to get help if you're going to be successful, if you're going to help your team, and I always talk about team because I don't do regular business, brick and mortar. But if you're going to help your team, you have to have that transparency piece so that everybody can be on the same page. Mm-hmm. They can feel that you're honest. They can say what they need to say to you. And because you have them on a pattern, they know what they need to do because you have a set of rules that are already definitely defined. They know what's expected of them. And they're not on the team, a full player on the team, unless they agree to that. So everybody's on the same page.
Great, thank you. And Linda, how about you? Do you have an accountability system set up, or have you worked with people in the past to help you stay in accountability?
Well, I am a victim of do as I say and not as I do. I am not in a mastermind group. Have never really embraced one in the past. Several episodes back, I volunteered to, help facilitate a mastermind group. Haven't gotten any takers on that yet. But, back to the, do as I say, not as I do. Keeping my clients on task makes the project go so much smoother and get done so much quicker. And after today's discussion, I think it's sinking in farther and farther that, Brenda, you're absolutely right. It is so much easier to be accountable. And, yeah, if I don't come across a mastermind group, well, maybe I just need to throw a freebie out there to some of my clients that are not taking advantage of the accountability and bring it to myself. So
it sounds like you feel really comfortable setting out accountability guidelines or measures for your clients. Is that right? That you're given tasks and you're okay following up or whatever, and things get done because of that.
Absolutely.
So the challenge is finding it for yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we think we're kind of like the top of the structure. You're the person that's providing services, so you're at the top, and forget that, okay, there's another structure that will help pull me up if I get somebody above me to remind me what I said I would do or said I wouldn't do, and now I'm doing it again. Or, but I do think it's really important to touch on this idea that every day you get a new start. Because I think sometimes people hear us talk about accountability and follow up and feel like, oh my gosh, if I don't do it all exactly what I said, my accountability partner is going to scold me or be mad at me or not call me anymore or something. And I mean, I do believe that there's a place for that, because some of us really, need to be reminded that we're making excuses, that we are procrastinating an awful lot, that we haven't done anything in a year or whatever. But most of us don't need that. We tend to be harder on ourselves than anyone else is already. And we just need some structure and reminding and a place where we feel safe to be transparent, like Brenda said, to be honest and open. Because, at least in my opinion, one of the benefits of accountability is and being good at it, or I don't know how you can be good at accountability, but recognizing its importance in your life, let's say that, is that often I think people sort of look at their business or their work as separate from the whole rest of their lives. And what having a really good accountability system will do is help you to balance your life and to be what we were talking about, integrity. And to me, there is a difference, because integrity is a wholeness. And accountability in one area, if you're really good at the business, for instance, but you're not taking care of your health or your family or whatever, your life is out of balance and you're not in integrity. And working on accountability in any area of your life is going to help you improve all areas when you recognize that the way you live is the way you live, and business is just a part of that. It's not separate. So that's just what I would add to that you may be really good at accountability in one area, and it's okay, well, if I'm really good at it here, I could probably put some more over here. I know how to do it. I just am not, some of us, like me, I seem to be really good at like managing health and fitness and not so good at managing money and numbers. It's just the way it is. So I need more accountability there in order to have the same kind of success that I have there as I do with my health. And I'm grateful that the health piece is easier for me, but I would be foolish to think that that means that I can run everything because, some things I'm not so great at.
I love that balance thing. But in this, we've discussed a number of times the difference between MLMs and, being your own boss. Accountability, I got to give the plus to the MLMs.
Because they have a system to help you with that, you mean?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so. That's one of the qualities that we've talked about that you want to look for if you are just getting into a network marketing business, just starting your business. Make sure that they have systems for accountability and support, and that there's a team that you can hook into if your person that brought you in is not going to be a strong leader for you for whatever reason. Are there other systems that are going to help you so that you can grow and take advantage of them? Because if you have to report every week, just like we're reporting to the public world right now every week, you are much more likely to get the work done. And, I think today's broadcast is a crazy broadcast. Orange broadcast is an example that all three of us can be proud of for accountability. We don't have our most reliable technological leader here with us who does all the links, and I've done a fumbling job of it today. And I apologize again. If you want to get in, go to Facebook. That's the only place you'll find the link. But at the same time, we did it, and we're here, and we got a late start, and we've got an orange Sarah. But at the same time, if somebody out there is looking at any one of us as, wow, I wonder if I'd ever want to do with business with Brenda or Linda or Sarah, well, they show up every Monday. They're there. They do what they say they're going to do, and that makes me feel proud. And that's just another example of it, getting done what you said you would get done. So. We only have a few minutes left, guys. Is there any last-minute tidbits you would like to throw in about accountability?
I'd like to say that accountability, and we always have to remember this. So if you're a business owner or whether you're working with a team, accountability starts at the top, and then it works its way down. So you really have to be honorable with the process, because people do what they see, they do what they hear, and you are the example.
You lead by example. And what kind of people do you want on the team? People that do what you do?
They will emulate you whether you know it or not.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
When you're building your team, they follow what you do.
Mm-hmm. Very important. Thank you, Brenda. How about you, Linda? Any last-minute tidbits?
So, Brenda, you just shot, holes in my, do as I say, not do as I do, and I'm going to have to step up to the plate, so thank you.
I'm going to call you Hillary.
Hillary.
The email.
My email.
Hey, Linda, you're here today. You got here, and it was a challenge, so give yourself a little credit. You didn't just say, yeah, forget it, I'm going back to bed. So, that's where you start from. That success. You find a success and you make it bigger. You find something you can celebrate and you do more of that. So that's my advice to you on that. So, Brenda, would you say goodbye and tell people how they can reach you?
This is Brenda Graham coming to you from Columbia, Maryland, your success mentor. You can find me on Facebook under that same title. And my telephone number, which I give so freely, is 410-302-1892. Brenda Graham, your success mentor, coming to you from Columbia, Maryland.
All right, thank you. And Linda?
I am Linda Kay at lindakay.com, and I am going to be more accountable. Thank you, guys. To myself accountable.
And Linda, what would somebody contact you for in terms of business?
Well, I am an awesome website strategist, designer, and developer. And I can create an incredible WordPress website for you.
All righty. Thank you, Linda. And I'm Sarah Coolidge. I want to thank you for joining us this Monday and tolerating all the bumps and lumps. I think that we've done a great job of talking about accountability and trying to live up to it as well. I hope next week I won't be so orange, but who knows? If you want to reach me, you can find me at ceospacewest.com. At CEO Space, we help you grow your business. We take you from where you are, and we help close that gap to where you want to be by accelerating it and bringing those things, getting those things done that you need to get done. We are going to have our conference in a week, which is really exciting. So if you're at all interested in getting a chance to see Bob Proctor in person, you need to go to ceospacewest.com and take a look. We will see you next Monday morning, 7 a.m. California time, 10 a.m. on the East Coast. In the meantime, have a fabulous week. Stay in momentum, stay accountable, and rock your business. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye.